that hot mess that they air in the mornings called The View had to issue not one, not two, not three, but 4 corrections, legal corrections, 4 legal notes. Not to mention what they did at that debate, where once again, they tried to fact check only one side, and then when their fact checks got fact checked, they cowered. They cowered in fear. I mean, this is a pattern with them.
I think the problem with that show is that show has this very specific ideological bubble in which they operate in. You know, and they always bring on a token conservative woman and they yell over her and silence her.
You believed that the only show with drama was The View. Rethink your thought. Together, Megyn Kelly and Joe Rogan just delivered a devastating blow that left The View's hosts frantically trying to save their own lives. If you believed they were untouchable, it wasn't pretty. Rethink your thought. Stay tuned as we dissect how these two completely demolish the so-called daytime TV queens. You won't want to miss this one, I promise.
Yeah, there's nothing there. Sometimes comics do that.
Yeah, and then the other question is then, is that representative of a big constituency? I think probably yes.
Well, a lot of
MSNBC viewers are probably also thinking,
I don't even think the MSNBC viewers. I think they're a little bit more sophisticated than that.
Yeah.
This is like low information, blue no matter who, like older housewives from Attica world. That's the appeal that Whoopi Goldberg.
The typical circus of View is in full meltdown mode at the beginning. 5 mature ladies shouting over one another, like to a disastrously mishandled televised seance. Joy Behar is currently in the middle of her 15th moral panic of the day. Sunny is vehemently disputing with gravity itself, while Whoopi appears to be calculating pi on a serviette. Nobody is paying attention. Every time someone mentions democracy or empowerment in a vague way, everyone interrupts, and the audience applauds like seals.
Will be sworn in as the 47th President of the United States, yay, on January 20th of this month. Not everyone's happy about it, and many people would like us to be more focused on the insurrection that he personally unleashed, if you ask them. As we discussed earlier, they think it's as bad as like the Holocaust, and you don't have to take my word for it. Here is Sunny Hostin.
January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery.
Yeah, January 6th is right up there next to the Holocaust.
Someone attempts to think clearly somewhere in a jumble, but it is instantly overpowered by crosstalk, performative gasping, and a side glare from Anna Navro that could make milk curdle. This isn't even a conversation or an argument. Instead, it's group therapy with a hint of hallucination and a studio audience. Studio lights illuminate this professional echo chamber. Additionally, the self-righteousness is practically odorous as it emanates from the screen.
In fairness, though, I mean, The View has to be, if you average out The View hosts, among the dumbest people in television. And it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth. But
I don't think some of them are dumb.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think some.
You think it's deliberate?
I think she's ideologically driven, and they have blinders for sure. I don't think Sunny's dumb. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and like it was totally baked and half-baked and you went on stage with it. It's nothing.
They're disgusting. You could never aspire to host a program on your own, and she is Ann and narrow. To succeed as much as Tucker Carlson has, you will only ever be a part of a team, so you may enjoy your little nasty henpecking while spending the entire day in your tiny, inexpensive seats. However, your careers are moving forward. The one person that mainstream media couldn't cover was Megyn Kelly. She was too keen, Fox thought. When NBC realized she had follow-up questions, they both cowardly fled. She now has a kill list labeled Daytime TV Hypocrisy and a microphone receipt. In addition to criticizing, Megyn surgically removes egos and displays them on her podcast. Consequently, Rogan and Kelly create a squad that might intimidate Satan's public relations company. And Rogan coolly breaks down their whole argument by pointing out that he doesn't have to yell at any of them. He only chuckles and remarks, "It's unbelievable that these people have airtime." And their whole act appears to be amateur improv at a yoga retreat all of a sudden. It appears that some of them do research on the subject of their yelling. In contrast, Megyn Kelly navigated these inconsistencies as if she were exploring a museum of media failure. The trustworthiness of the ideas decreases by 20 points when she raises one eyebrow. Where Rogan is a sledgehammer of clear argument, her skill is accuracy rather than volume. Whoopi Goldberg begins flashing in Morse code, sending Barbara Walters an SOS as a ghostly, repulsive entity. And Megyn is the scalpel slicing through the facade of tone-deaf fury, and whatever Anna Navo believes to be a logical take on one segment, or opinion.
Jesus. Anna Navarro, in your wildest imagination, you could never solo host the show. You will only ever make it as part of an ensemble, and you could never hope to achieve the success that Tucker Carlson has. So you can sit in your little cheap seats all day long and enjoy your little negative henpecking, but your careers are going nowhere, and Tucker is about to dominate in whatever space.
The View believed they were untouchable for years, which is the true tragedy. The only conditions for broadcast in their insulated media cocoon were the ability to pretend to be morally superior and a hazy recollection of the Clinton era. However, Rogan and Kelly care about the truth, or at the very least, they don't pretend that volume equals virtue, now that that bubble has been shattered by two people who don't need the legacy media's approval to call out the nonsense. Therefore, The View had no chance when they presented facts, reasoning, and a ton of irony.
Hot mess that they air in the mornings, called The View, had to issue not one, not two, not three, but 4 corrections, legal corrections. 4 legal notes. We only have 3 of them on camera, but look at this.
I have another legal note. Both Trump and Pam Bondi have denied allegations of a quid pro quo. I have a legal note.
You want to take this one, Joy, or you
Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime.
Let's try.
Also, another legal note, Pete Hegseth's lawyer said he paid the woman in 2023 to head off the threat of a baseless lawsuit. He has denied any wrongdoing.
Not to mention what they did at that debate, where once again, they tried to fact check only one side, and then when their fact checks got fact checked, they cowered. They cowered in fear. I mean, this is a pattern.
A kazoo and fencing match. Kelly and Rogan didn't simply pick up a remote control, the entire show is reset. When The View chose to go full ignition on a petrol soak stage, the spark appeared. This time, they were in rare form, which is significant. For a show that typically ignores Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the target of their most recent verbal confetti, and treats facts like salad toppings as optional. They rolled their eyes as though they were being asked to explain basic civics, and they ridiculed and rejected his ideas without even doing a 5-second Google search. The level of contempt was Olympic synchronized and utterly meaningless.
They're very intelligent, but she's ideologically captured.
Right.
You know, so I think the other ones, there's a couple of the other ones, don't have to name any names, are just very dull. But I think Sunny's not one of them. I think she's smart, but captured.
Sure, I think she came into it with an agenda.
Of course.
You know,
they do everything.